Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. David Hughes, otherwise known as Camo Dave. It's been quite the week on YouTube. I figured Dave deserved a bit of a memoriam. So the weather's clear, we got more snow. No better time than now to talk about Dave. I'm very struck by the dozens and dozens of videos that people have produced in the last few days, and I've gone through many of them, made comments on some of them, and it's quite positive and overwhelmingly nice that so many of you took time. I was going to make a list, but I was always afraid of forgetting a few people or missing a few people, but it's a long list of people that made videos to talk about Dave. And I think that's fantastic. It shows the overwhelmingly positive nature of YouTube. Now, there's a few people that didn't do that, maybe 2-3 videos that were nasty, and you people should be ashamed of yourself. You want that to happen when you die, because guess what? 100% chance you're going to die. Now, Dave was not a perfect person. He was just like the rest of us. So he deserves some kind words upon his passing. And so I'm going to do that. I've been watching Camo Dave for years. And he had one of those channels where sometimes he just produced so many videos, like he'd do 2, 3, 4 a day sometimes, that I'd have to unsubscribe, and then, a month or two later I'd subscribe again, because you were just curious of what was going on. Because he had some few videos that were nuggets that you just had to watch, of course, just like any other channel. Nobody's hitting home runs every video. That's impossible. So that's the kind of channel Camo Dave had. He was prolific in his ability to produce videos. And I used to give him some jabs, and he used to give me some jabs. The jab that I used to give him is I'd say, look, Dave, you're not 12 years old anymore. You can actually download the videos you're reviewing, plop them into the software program, and actually review the videos where they're nice and clear. I mean, it's not hard to do, Dave. You know how to... You're an adult. You know how to produce a video. But, he took it in stride. He never did that. Even though, when I use a video clip in somebody's videos, like I'm going to do today, I actually download the video, so it's clearer for you. But Dave was prolific. That's probably the best way. He was, he was like a snowplow, to use the metaphor, surrounded by snow here. He would just keep going. It didn't matter. It didn't matter whether his videos would get 300 views or 10,000 views. He would just keep going at it. Didn't matter, and he'd do 2, 3, 4 videos a day. And good for him. He had the tenacity. That's probably another good word to describe Dave Hughes and Camo Dave's channel. He had tenacity that he would just keep going. And good for him, And I always got a chuckle out of people that would approach him and say, don't cover my channel anymore. And quite often he actually honored that request, which is not something I'd do. If I'm within the law and somebody tells me, hey, don't talk about me anymore, and I know I'm clearly within the community guidelines, I'm going to poke the bear, and I'm going to keep doing a few videos just to shove it in your face and say, hey, you can't tell me what to do when I'm not breaking the law. So Dave was a lot more of a gentleman than me. I'm willing to admit it. Dave was a lot more gracious when it came to his behavior on YouTube than I've been, because I'm a little more stubborn, I guess. But I'm not here to talk about myself. We're here to talk about Dave. So I did kind of like that he kept a sense of fair play, because he got some good jabs against me, and I was never butthurt about it at all, because he had a sense of knowing where the line was, and his comments were fair, and they were just opinions. He never crossed that line, which will actually get your channel shut down. If you cross the line and you call somebody a convicted criminal when they're not, that's an actionable offense, and things like that. He would just make funny observations that were his opinions. Like it or not, that was Dave. And I respected that about him, even when he was getting a few jabs against me. And as you all know, I talked to him on the phone, a week ago? Was it 8-9 days ago? During the Camo Awards, since I did win 3 Cammies. God bless him for doing the Camo Awards. So, yeah, I had to call in. He took the time to do fun little things like that. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. But he took the time to kind of build a community for us and for himself. And that's a good thing. And everybody was welcome. You really had to go out of your way to get banned or blocked on his channel. That's just my thoughts. So, in spite of the few odd differences that we had, they were so insignificant that I don't even consider them differences. Like I said, when I talked to him on the phone the other day, well, here, let's just give an excerpt of my last call to him from, what was it, December 22nd or 23rd, somewhere around there.
British Columbia. Hello, is this Line Screw? Mr. Line Screw, 3 awards tonight. You've won. Wow.
Yes, that was a sweep. That's 3 nominations, 3 wins. I can't believe it. All that bribery money that I dished out.
You made your point. Yeah. You got your friendlies, your Line Screw balls in line tonight, and you've won 3 awards. So congratulations.
Wow. But I really need to thank the most important lady behind my success, and that's Carolyn's RV Life. I need to do a shout out to Carolyn and for all the wonderful support and all the wonderful help and inspiration. She inspires me, so I really have to give her credit.
Yeah, well, that definitely sealed you with the best parody channel. I mean, come on, you beat DC Parodies. I mean, that was professional stuff. So, with you in the mouth there, hello, everybody. And it doesn't even sound like her, but everybody loved that, yeah.
So Dave had fun poking at people, just like I've had fun poking at people and covering the Nomads. I don't know where he got the motivation, because he watched so many channels and reviewed so many channels. I really couldn't be motivated to do that. But good for him. It kind of speaks to his character. He was focused. He covered the Nomad news, and very few people do. I mean, of course, Blind Views does it. He does it quite well also. And I consider Blind Views a friend. I've appeared on his channel, and I've supported him, and I'm actually a member of his channel. Blind Views kind of did it different. And I know even Blind Views and Camo Dave had their differences, but for the most part, I think they were polite. They never crossed the line. I think both of those men are decent human beings, and they know where the line is. They can voice their grievances and then move on, which is like what I've always done with Dave. And so he's always been pretty kind to me, and I've called in to talk to him many times over the years, and I'm always welcome on his channel. The funniest thing, though, was on that last day. I'm putting messages down on the live stream, and nobody is seeing the comments except everybody is seeing the comments except Dave. And he's swearing, no, Line Screw 1's not banned. And I believe it wasn't banned. There's technical glitches that happen all the time. So anyway, he took my phone call, we chatted, and here we are. We're memorializing Camo Dave. I think it's one of those things that we experience in life where you don't really appreciate things or people until they're gone. That's something to reflect upon, because I think a lot of us encounter that. So he's going to be missed. So many videos were made. In fact, I saw videos talking about Camo Dave's untimely demise that were produced in the United Arab Emirates, and a whole bunch from Pakistan, and even, I believe, a couple from India. So I think if Dave is here somehow to look down upon this, and he would see all these videos that have been produced saying kind and wonderful things about him from around the world, literally, I think he'd be amazed. And that's his legacy. He brought the Nomad news to us, and here we are bringing the news about his passing to everybody else. So it's come full circle in some respect. So he's going to be missed. His content's going to live forever. That's the wonder of the digital community. As long as our civilization stays intact, all this digital content is going to theoretically live forever, or at least a very long time. So Camo Dave's going to live in our memories, and I hope you guys take the time to say something nice in the comments section below about Dave. Some of your observations about his time on YouTube and your interactions with him. And I think it's a time to think about him and reflect, and to maybe learn something about how we conduct ourselves. He was a good guy. You know, what was he, 63 when he passed? It's not much older than I am. So Dave has gone the same way I'm going to go, and I really don't know how many more hours or days I do have left either. So, well, I will end this video on the Camo Dave song I did a little over 3 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. As a joke, I produced a song called Talking About Camo Dave, and then in parentheses talks about the nomad ways. And the song that I produced, it had a lot of gibberish because a lot of things that happened with the nomads, including myself, it's just gibberish. It's YouTube. It's literally digital masturbation, if I can say such a word, or such a metaphorical term, I guess. It really is, and a lot of what we show on YouTube is of no consequence to how the world works. But it's silly sometimes it's fun, and even sometimes it can be interesting. But I think I'll end this tribute and my little mini speech here to Camo Dave by playing the Camo Dave song that I uploaded a little more than 3 years ago. Yep, Camo Dave likes to talk about the nomad ways. So, like I said, folks, put your comments down below, and I know many of you will share my sentiment that you will miss having that video on your feed every morning, where Dave says, "I don't know, man," or "letters, letters, letters." You know, or even you know what? Even when he said, "Send me money" or "Give me money," you know, he did it with some flair, and, you know, some humor involved, and there's always a bit of an underscore of sarcasm and some truth kind of blended in, because Dave was not a rich man, and he probably needed some of that YouTube money, and there's nothing wrong with that. He actually put in a lot more time to his YouTube channel than I do, and he sadly didn't get as much views as I thought he deserved, considering how much effort he put in. But we're all missing him now, and thank you all for all the tributes and videos that you put up and posted over the last few days, and let's spend the rest of the day thinking about Dave.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No much ballin', always fallin', gonna make a callin', baby crying, always gonna find a fightin',
Talking about Camo Dave likes to rave about the crazy nomad ways.
nomads crying, always lying, gonna find a moving mind, moving dollars, crime of dollars, moving dollars,
Talking about
crime of dollars, moving dollars, moving do violence, moving Camo Dave likes to rave about the crazy nomad ways.
Camo Dave.
Nomads crying, always lying, crying dollars make you holler. Nomads crying, always lying, gonna find them in the night, and then we find it on a mind.
Camo Dave. Talking about Camo Dave Rhapsody. Send your letter, make it free.